What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Rick Knows Hoops. I'm your host, Tyreek. And I want to talk about glue guys in this video because, I was interviewing this player from a local high school in the Dayton area, and he kind of plays that glue guy role, and it just got me thinking about, glue guys around the NBA and just how important they are. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new on the road to 200 subscribers. And the idea behind this really came when I looked at the Boston Celtics and how much they've been struggling. Everybody knows that's my squad, and without Marcus Smart, they've really been struggling. Marcus Smart is one of the ultimate glue guys in the league. For those of you who don't really know, glue guys are players that they're not the leading scorers most of the time. They're really a gritty defender, and they just they bring the team together. They make the team gel. They just help, on the defensive end. They help their teammates. They make the extra pass, make open shots, stuff like that. Marcus Smart's one of the most prime examples of a glue guy, and the Boston Celtics have really been struggling without him. The Atlanta Hawks just lit up the Celtics once again. I think this is the second or third time that they've lost to them this season. So Boston is really struggling, and I think not having Marcus Smart is the main reason to that struggle. Marcus Smart brings so much on the defensive end. Can legitimately guard 1 through 4, and in some situations he can guard smaller fives if he needs to, if he gets switched or whatever happens there on the defensive end. And he's somebody who's a secondary playmaker. Another thing that Celtics have been lacking is just consistent playmaking, and Marcus Smart provides a lot of that for this team, and you can just tell that that's why they're struggling. But I don't just want to lock in on the Celtics. Shout out to the Hawks for winning this game. Danilo Gallinari it looked like he was just having fun out there. I mean, he was pulling from the logo, from the bench area. He was lighting them up. He ended up with 10 threes, his best game of the year, 38 points. That's a big boost for them if he can get going, and they can just get healthy with Bogdanovic coming back, and Rondo staying in the lineup and all those guys. Hopefully that they can get it together, because that's a team that I keep saying people expected them to be in the playoff race. So hopefully they can get it together. But I also want to talk about the Lakers. I mean, Anthony Davis, he's more than a glue guy because he's one of the best players in the league. The best power forward in the league as far as I'm concerned. But he is their glue guy, especially on the defensive end, because he really bridges the gap between the guards and the bigs. I mean, they ask Anthony Davis to do a lot on the defensive end, whether it's rim protect or sometimes he's asked to guard, wing players. In the finals, he was guarding Jimmy Butler for, long periods of time. I remember in the bubble when TJ Warren was lighting it up, they put Anthony Davis on TJ Warren. They ask him to do so much on the defensive end, not just guard bigs, but they also ask him to, guard wing players. So not having Anthony Davis, the Lakers lost their 4th straight game tonight to the Utah Jazz, who Utah's been doing their thing. I mean, I've talked about Utah a lot. That's one of the teams that I think is actually legit in that Western Conference. But you can see just how much the Lakers are really struggling without that glue guy. Anthony Davis being one of the, supreme glue guys in the NBA, man. And, a lot of teams, these players are important and they don't get a lot of love, honestly. Robert Covington's kind of been that way for a lot of years. He's not playing so great offensively this year, but still defensively, he's still on a pretty, good level. And even for the Utah Jazz, they have a couple guys in that, that department, bro. Joe Ingles and Royce O'Neal are 2 unsung heroes for that team. And they've been playing really good basketball, especially, with Joe Ingles shooting the lights out, man. And I just, I thought of this too, the Miami Heat, really started out struggling. They've been picking it up lately. They're 8-3 in their last 11 games. And really, besides that loss against the Warriors, they've been playing some really good basketball. But they lost guys like Jay Crowder in the offseason. That's a big loss. Jay Crowder is another guy in that department of glue guys that really brings teams together. And that's probably why, the Phoenix Suns have been playing so well. The Suns, even though they did lose tonight, but I mean, a guy like Jay Crowder is he's always on winning teams. That's one thing about Jay Crowder. He's one of the reasons why his teams are always so successful. Shout out to the Hornets though, man. I'm so happy to see Malik Monk play good basketball. I'm just happy to see him on the court because he was getting into that realm where it's he might fall out of the league, honestly, if, he didn't produce this season. But he's been producing when he's gotten the time. Miles Bridges, bro, another guy, like his stats don't tell the true story, man. He's really good on both ends. He really is, and he just does little things like he's elite on the boards too for, you know, a wing player or power. I don't know what they classify him as, but to me he's a wing player. But he's really elite on the boards too, you know, for being a wing. And he's gotten a consistent jumper now. Like, he's actually shooting the 3-ball pretty well. Like, he's shooting the 3-ball pretty well this season. Shooting the free throw a lot better too. And, you know, he's playing with confidence. I like to see it. You know, LaMelo, you can't overstate LaMelo, bro. LaMelo is a sensational player, bro. Like, rookie of the year it's in his hands as long as he wants it, bro. Like, and he helped ice this game tonight for them. So, you know, big win for that team. They've been playing a lot better lately. Tough one for the Suns. Devin Booker did get into the All-Star game, by the way, if you guys didn't know, because of the Anthony Davis injury. Zach LaVine also had another big game against the Timberwolves. I didn't realize how bad the Timberwolves were. Like, I knew that they were bad, but they're 7-26 now. Like, they're really bad. Injuries is a part of it, but still, I don't think that team construction is that great. Maybe with a new coach in there, things will get better. But I seen that other like the Coaches Association was mad of the way that they went about hiring their coach. It was like they weren't happy with it at all, bro. So I don't know. My bad. I don't know what's gonna come out of that, but you know, other coaches weren't happy, but. You know, hopefully they can get it together, bro, because they've been in the dumps for a long time. It's hard to see, bro. It's very hard to see. Also got to mention another, you know, glue guy type of player. Lu Dort hit the game winner tonight. You know, OKC against the Spurs. He hit the corner 3. I like to see Lu Dort hooping because I feel like in the playoffs, other than that Game 7, man, it was leaving him wide open, man. He made him pay in Game 7 for the most part. I think he hit like 6 or 7 3, something crazy like that. But, you know, he started off really hot shooting the 3. I think he cooled down a little bit. But, hey, shout out to Lu Dort, man. Undrafted player. You love to see those guys just find a place in the league, man. It's really a time for, like, you know, undrafted players, mid-major players to make the league. Like, it's very much a possibility. You just have to be elite at a couple things to really make NBA rosters, man. I know it sounds easier said than done, but you know, these guys, they put so much training in, bro. So it's like, if you really work at, you know, certain skill sets, you know, if you're a D1 Division 1 basketball player, you'll have a chance of making the NBA. Lu Dort's a prime example of that. Fred VanVleet is another example of that. Undrafted guys. Freddie went to a mid-major and he was undrafted, but still has found a way to not just stay in the league, but get paid big time money to play the game of basketball. So I always love seeing those guys. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had a career night. He dropped 42. Shai, that's one of the smoothest players in the league. Like, you know, watching, you know, guys that are explosive, high flying and stuff, always fun. Everybody loves those kind of guys, but I love the guys like Shai. Like, Shai is just crafty. Like, his jumper is slow. He doesn't look like he's moving that fast either, but he finds ways to get his shot off. He never gets his jumper blocked or anything. He's pretty efficient too for such a young player. And it seems like he's moving in slow motion. Like, they said it about, you know, like Luka too. Like, Luka looks like he's moving in slow motion, but it's just like he's so crafty with it. Footwork is so elite. Same thing with Nikola Jokic. He's the same exact way. Seems like he's moving in slow motion, but you know, really it's just deceptive, great footwork, and it works for those guys. Another guy that's super like everybody who knows me knows I love CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum, in my opinion, the smoothest player in the NBA. I really think he's the smoothest guy in the league. Like, you can tell, like, he puts in nothing but work in the off season. Like, tons of drill. I would love to just to watch, like, his workout, like a full workout. I would love to see that, because the stuff he does in games is literally skills and drills. Like they be saying, it's just skills and drills, bro. You know, them are the type of players that I really like love to watch. Like, them are the guys that I really, you know, take a liking to on the court. You know, hopefully CJ gets back soon, man. The Blazers, Dame could definitely use him, because Dame's been having to, you know, play superhero mode lately. But yeah, topic of the video, glue guys for sure. I'm definitely forgetting some guys too, but oh yeah, the Warriors play too. Draymond Green, prime example. Everybody saw how bad the Warriors were playing without Draymond, and now they're in the playoff race. They might be a playoff team this season, when it was looking early on like it might be a similar story to last season where this team is not going to be good. But as soon as Draymond comes back, team starts to click. And Draymond, even though like he doesn't do anything offensively now besides play make, that's like even Draymond, like the 73-9 days and their first championship run, Draymond could at least hit the three at a decent rate. Like I think one of them years he was shooting like 38%. He's not giving you 38% now, bro. He's not, like maybe like 38% from the field, but he's not giving you 38% from three. But he's still such an impactful player. I think that's like I'm rambling, but let's get to the Ben Simmons discussion. A lot of people think Ben Simmons shouldn't be an all-star, and I know I personally did not have him on my list. I personally did not, but he did start to ramp it up like as the voting was getting closer. When he knew he wasn't going to be a star, he started to ramp it up, which Ben Simmons has a tendency to do that a lot. But Ben Simmons affects the game of basketball so much without a jump shot. First off, in an era and age where jump shooting is very important, he is able to be an all-NBA player year after year, an all-star year after year without being able to shoot a jump shot, because he affects the game in so many ways. I mean, Ben Simmons is arguably like the best perimeter defender in the league. Can probably legit guard 1 through 5, on some nights. That's not really. I don't think that's really a question. I think he can guard 1 through 5 on most nights. Very great playmaker, great court vision, good finisher in the paint too, and he affects the game. He affects the game so much. Great rebounder too for point guard. Technically, casual fans, they just don't understand that, and that's why I urge people to watch basketball. Actually, watch basketball. Don't look at box scores. Don't look at highlights. If you really watch the games, you'll know like, oh, when Ben Simmons is on the floor, this team is severely better. Like you just notice those things. My dad, his favorite player of all time is like Shawn Marion is his like favorite player of all time, and people will look like Shawn Marion, like what? Shawn Marion affected the game of like winning so much, bro. Like people don't understand how much Shawn Marion affected the winning aspect, and he was always on winning teams. Like that's not no secret. That's why Shawn Marion got the bag in Phoenix. It wasn't Steve Nash. It wasn't Amar. Shawn Marion got the bag. He was getting paid the most on those Phoenix Suns teams. Like people, they underestimate the guys that aren't like the 25, 30 point scorers. Like the most important part of the championship teams be those other guys. Like of course you need your stars, you need your guys that you can go to, but a lot of times it's gonna be like the guys that really make the key difference is gonna be that second or third role player that's like they're defending their tails off, they're hitting open shots, they're chasing down that offensive rebound when you need it most. Like KCP for the Lakers in the playoffs last year, he was playing that kind of role, like that unsung hero role. Like people, casual fans, they don't understand that. I know my real hoop heads, they understand like every championship team needs guys like that. And that's why, you see the Lakers, even though they're struggling now, but once Anthony Davis comes back and if he's healthy, you'll see why they're, a contending team. Clippers are the same way. The Clippers are really the same way. Like guys like Patrick Beverley, they really impact the game of basketball, from a winning aspect so much. Like just chasing down those offensive rebounds, diving for that loose ball, like that stuff makes such a key difference, especially for real playoff contenders. Jeremy Grant was like that for the Nuggets last year. Obviously he's evolved into a go-to player for the Detroit Pistons this year, but he was that glue guy for them last year along with Paul Millsap, guys like that, and that's why those teams are always so good. Yeah, I urge you guys, pay attention to the small things, bro. Pay attention to the small things, because you'll really realize like, okay, it's not just about the superstars. Them glue guys, very important. So keep an eye out for guys like that. And yeah, that's the end of my ramble. That is the end of my ramble. I feel like I just talked 15 minutes about glue guys while giving y'all around the league tonight. So if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe like I mentioned before. Trying to get to them 200 subs. I'm gonna be back next time, y'all. Peace.